And dessert, I think, should be something very, very special. So let me clean up the decks for you a little bit and tell you what that's all about. I think it would be wonderful to do something called a zuppa inglese, which translates to an English soup. And to do it, you have to start by making a pudding. And for this, we're going to be making a traditional filling that Italians would make for a cake. Let me put it here so you can see it. And you have to start in a double boiler off the heat with 4 egg yolks. So there are my egg yolks. And then you want a ½ a cup of sugar. There's my sugar. And just whisk the sugar in with the eggs until it's well blended. Then you want to have 2 tablespoons of flour. So that goes in. And get that all mixed up. And then what you have ready is a cup of milk that you have scalded and then let come to room temperature so that it's just tepid, just warm. So now you can turn the heat on after you get that all in. Get the heat on, medium heat, I would say, and slowly add your milk. You don't want any lumps to occur, so you slowly add the milk, and you could really use low-fat milk for this if you wanted to keep this on the low-calorie side. So all the milk gets in, and then you have to cook this until it thickens, of course, until it makes a thick pudding. So as it thickens, you'll know it's thick enough if it coats the back of a spoon. So that's going to take you, about 10 minutes to do. And then after it's thickened, you'll want to add about a teaspoon of butter. And you could actually make this the day ahead of assembling the cake. Put this in the refrigerator and then use it the next day. So then get the butter in. So now I'm going to shut that off and show you what that looks like when it is cooked. Here's a pudding right here. Let me get a spoon and show you. You see? There's a nice pudding. It's all ready to go. And the only other thing I have to add to this is some vanilla. Here's some vanilla. About a tablespoon. I like vanilla, so I'm going to put a lot in. And about a tablespoon of grated fresh orange zest goes into that. And to really cool that down even further, well, you could put this into a bowl of ice. That's when you take it off the stove. Just get it into a bowl of ice, and that'll help chill it down. Then the last thing you want to add to this, and now I've taken a little departure here from the traditional zuppa inglese because I'm adding diced dried fruits, apricots, apples, pears, and some prunes. So that all gets mixed up and then covered with a piece of buttered parchment paper, and that goes in the refrigerator. So that's easy. So that's the pudding part, or the bread of Spain. It's a basic cake that Italians use to do a number of things with. They eat it plain like this with coffee or espresso. They'll have it filled with a filling, or they might have it with just a dusting of confectioner sugar over the top. Anyway, the cake is made with cake flour, eggs, and sugar, and a little salt. And the egg whites are beaten stiffly and incorporated into the cake to lighten it. So once you have the cake made, and it's not a very high cake as you can see, you want to cut it, split it. Split the cake in 2, like this, using a serrated knife. And then carefully take the top and set it aside. Then you want to put something on this cake that in Italy is called alkermes. It's really a liqueur, a flavoring agent that you find in zuppa inglese and in other desserts. It's made from cinnamon and cloves and spices, and it's really something that came from the Renaissance. In fact, people say that it was the Medici family who developed this formula for making the alkermes. So here is my pudding now. Take the top off, you see. It's nice and thick. And that we spread right over the cake, all of this. And you see, if you chill this for a while, this will thicken up. I like to do this overnight. and then carefully put it over the top. You see? Just like that. Now, after you do that, of course, you clean up the edges of the dish. You want this to be nice and neat. And you work with some heavy cream. And here we just have about 1.5 cups of heavy cream that we've got about 2 tablespoons of sugar in, confectioner's sugar. And then the idea is to just go around the cake, just giving it a little decoration along the edges. And you can use any kind of a design that you'd like. So here are some dried fruits, some apricots, and you can just do what you want. Just cut them up in little pieces and put them around the cake like so. You see? Just keep going like that.